this video, I'm going to show you a really quick way to make a cross-stitch pattern, or this could also be used for a granny square pixel blanket, to take a sprite or an image or character from a video game and turn it into a cross-stitch pattern. So first you'll need to just Google cross-stitch pattern maker. There are lots of free ones online. Today we're going to use Stitch Fiddle. So we'll click on that. We're going to do this one as a cross-stitch pattern, but again, you can do this with any craft. We'll do an empty chart. 20 by 20 is fine. So here's our little grid. It gives you a sample palette of colors to start out with. I'm going to add black to this so that we can have that available. And so really all you have to do is kind of click your picture to draw what you want to make into your cross-stitch pattern. But you're thinking, how do I know what to draw? So I recommend going to spriters-resource.com if you're looking for video game stuff. This has tons of screen grabs of characters, items, all kinds of things from tons of games. So let's go back old school to NES. Most popular right here, Super Mario. Let's do Super Mario 3. And I want to find a mushroom. So there's characters here, enemies and bosses, stages, backgrounds. Over here, NPCs, non-playable characters, items, and miscellaneous. That's what we want. This image is kind of small. It's 1 pixel per pixel, you know, like the real image. So I'm going to copy it and paste it in a photo editor. I'm going to use GIMP as my free photo editor here. And if I zoom in, I can zoom as big as I want and make that mushroom as big as I want. So you could honestly just use this as your cross-stitch pattern, but it's a little bit hard to count and see exactly how many square, like is this 4 or is this 5? You know, it gets a little bit harder to tell without the grid lines. So we're going to crop this, and then I'm going to delete the background out and crop this again just to the content. So everything in my image is what I want to be part of my pattern. I'll export this as mushroom. And now I have this saved as its own file. I'm going to come back over to Stitch Fiddle, say I'm going to start from a picture, and then I'm going to select the picture I just created. And that's it. It's by default, it's at the right size, 16 by 16. Colors are fine. So I'll say save. And there's my pattern. So that was super quick, super easy. If you're not as handy with the photo editor and you'd rather just draw this by hand, you can easily do that too. Take your picture to use as a reference. Zoom so it's a size where you can see both windows on the screen at the same time. And then we're going to open our Stitch Fiddle. I'm going to just reload this to reset my drawing here. Get my black color back. Okay, so you can just pick a place to start. If you can tell where the center is on your drawing, that's kind of usually a good spot. I can tell that there's 6 across in this top row because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll take my black and draw 6 across. Then you can just kind of eyeball the shape of your source image. And if you get to like a long stretch like this, you're not quite sure how long it is, you can leave it and come back and then switch to another color. That'll help you kind of have a frame of reference of where you're at. And there we go. There's our cross-stitch pattern. I didn't fill in all the white here because it looks the same even if I did. Depending how you want to use your pattern, if you want to print it out or just use it on your screen or save it as an image, whatever you want to do. Once you have it in this format, That'll make it much easier to count how many squares you need to make. And that's a quick and easy way to turn a video game character into a pattern.